What's going on, everyone? It's your host, Spook Benjamin, aka Spook, and we back again with breaking news. Now, today is a whole something different that it's been going on in America for a long time, and we talking about police brutality. But this is on a whole nother level, What y'all about to witness today, I don't even think y'all ever seen it like this. Now, warn you, there may be some graphic stuff in here, so if you need to shield your eyes, shield your eyes. But this is crazy. Once I seen this story, I said, "Oh no, I got to get on this one. Let's get to it."
And it's graphic. We have a warning for viewers that the next story is graphic. The sentencing begins today for 6 white former Mississippi police officers who tortured 2 black men last year. They apparently responded to a call from a neighbor who complained that 2 men were living with a white woman.
These 6 officers, they don't look too well. Look at their mugshots. Look at their photos. They don't look too well. They look sick. They look depressed, and they all 6 look like they need to get some help. Now, they calling these 6 officers the Goonie Squad. Y'all heard me right? The Goonie Squad. You feel? Because they goons. They're going around neighborhoods, specifically black and Latino, and they gooning these Negroes down and these Latinos down. They gooning and gobbling it up. Hey, let's get back to the all right. Look at these 6 officers, crooked as can be.
Woman. The officers, who call themselves the Goon Squad, assaulted the men with stun guns, sex toys, and poured liquid on them.
You heard that? It's the officers that gave themselves the nickname Goon Squad. That's their street name. Their street name is Goon Squad. And we go around black neighborhoods terrorizing these Negroes. Goon Squad. When y'all see us 6, y'all know what time it is. Ain't this some
They then forced them to shower together. One of the officers then shot one of the victims in the mouth in a mock.
I gotta reverse that. Hold on.
Together. One of the officers then shot men with stun guns, sex toys, and poured liquid on them. They then forced them to assaulted the men with stun guns, sex toys, and poured liquid on them. They then
What? Assaulted them with stun guns, sex toys, and had them shower together? These these crooked ass officers throwing a freak neek. Yeah. Or as we call it, how P. Diddy call it again? Freak off. That's what these 6 officers was having, a freak off. Yeah. They getting down to nasty, nasty business. These nasty, raggedy, good for nothing cops.
then forced them to shower together. One of the officers then shot one of the victims in the mouth in a mock execution and attempted to plant evidence.
What? Shot right after they did all of them the freaknik stuff. They said, you know what? We wasn't entertained. We just gonna have to shoot one of y'all niggas. They just shot him in the mouth. Shot him in the goddamn mouth. That's some nasty, weird, wicked stuff. The devil's on him too. Oh yeah, they got the devils upon them.
In an attempt to cover up the crimes.
And then planted raggedy, fake evidence. Whether we don't know if they planted drugs or whatever, and said, you know what, we had to shoot him because he had drugs and he pointed a gun at us and just something. It's always something with these men in green and blue. Always something.
So joining us now for more on this is Steve Barrick. He is a former prosecutor and a partner at Barrick and Associates. Thanks a lot for joining us. You were not involved in this case. We should sort of clarify, but you're here to talk about it. The details are out. The men are awaiting sentencing, and the details are they're grisly. What is expected? What's the expected sentence for this type of crime, particularly because, we're talking about this crime committed by officers?
Right. So the statute they're being prosecuted under is deprivation of rights under the color of law. So the maximum sentence actually could be as significant as the death penalty, which I wouldn't expect in this case. I think what they're realistically looking at is life in prison.
What that you wouldn't expect the death penalty. Why? They executed an innocent citizen. Why wouldn't you expect the death penalty? I would expect the death penalty. If you shot someone, you assaulted them, aggravated assaulted them, made them do some nasty, nasty, darn low level freak off Friday stuff, all of that nasty, weird stuff, and then you don't get entertained and you just shoot them in the mouth, and then plant evidence too, and that's not life in. I mean, that's not death penalty. Boy, you got to be kidding me. You got to be kidding me, Judge.
For these horrific crimes. So it's a very broad statute with very significant penalties. And so I think their sentence is going to be very significant.
So one of the victims is still.
Listen to the keywords. That's all you got to do. Listen to the keywords. I think their sentencing is going to, be a little harsh. I think. Why wouldn't we be for certain and for sure? Why you have to think that they're sentenced? What, because they're police officers? Is that why? Because they're above the law or something? Is that why? Because I know for certain, if any regular old citizen, I don't care what you, Latino, black, white, whatever, Asian, I know if you rent up in someone's house illegally, make them do some nasty, weird, freaknik stuff illegally, and then steal or plant something on them illegally, you should at least get, for certain and for sure, you should at least get life to death penalty. And you shot him in the mouth. And you shot someone in the mouth. Whew, come on. We don't know where they do that at. Good old America.
Suffering from the physical injuries they sustained in the attack. What role will that play in sentencing?
So these are all factors, Lad, under the federal sentencing guidelines. Injuries, long-lasting injuries, significance of injuries, those all play a role. So I think that this judge, I mean, these crimes in modern America, this is shocking conduct. So I expect them to get a very lengthy sentence for what happened that day. And,
you expect them, but you ain't 100% certain. But you expect, they might get a lengthy sentence. We don't know. What is a lengthy sentence? 4 years, 5 years, 6 years for doing all of that? We're not too sure, and we're not too sure. Like, I don't know. Sir, I know you're not the judge, sir, but come on now. They shot someone in the goddamn mouth. That should tell it all. Life for good. Throw away the keys on them. Give these raggedy, crooked officers life. And hit them with the death too. Get the gravel, hit the gravel like this, and give them the death penalty, injection style.
This is not the only time. This goon squad, I mean, there are other incidents that law enforcement is looking into with these guys. So there's a lot going on here.
Good old boys and blues. I told y'all earlier, the biggest gang in America. There ain't no gang in this world that's bigger than them boys in blue. Think about that. Ain't no gang. Ain't no Crip, ain't no Blood, ain't no GD, ain't no Gangster Disciple, ain't none of that. Talking these boys in blue, okay? And once y'all understand that, y'all stay in y'all place.
So it's not just that. It's not just a criminal case. The county sheriff's office is now
talking about the goon squad. Goons, they labeling these officers the goon squad. They goons. They with the hooligan stuff. They goons.
now facing a $400 million civil lawsuit as a result of the attack. How could this play out in court?
The civil case?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think what you're looking at here is the civil attorney is going to have to prove that there was this systemic issue within the sheriff's office regarding, lack of supervision, poor training, poor decision making in terms of hiring these folks. And I think you're going to find out that other people knew what was going on. I mean, when you're dealing with this kind of behavior, these individuals have a tendency to brag about it. And I think.
So you telling me other officers knew what was going on, and they all stayed silent, no snitching, mouth kept quiet, mouth kept closed. Other officers knew. Probably the police chief knew too. They all in cahoots with each other. They all know it. Look at what he just said. I think they knew because you already know these type of boys right here, these goon squad boys, they ain't gonna keep their mouth shut. They gonna go let all them other boys know what's going on. How they got the hood on lockdown. Come on.
It's going to be very interesting to see how this civil case plays out over the next several months as it relates to what the hierarchy of the sheriff's department knew about what was going on.
Yeah, we've seen cases like this before where you have this specialized group of police officers that are, put in place to really deal with high crime areas.
And oftentimes they behave in an extrajudicial manner.
Exactly, rife with abuse. All right, so could the decision by the judge set the standard for punishment for officers who use excessive force in racially motivated cases?
Yeah, I think whether it's race-based or excessive force in general, I think that what happens here and what happens in high-profile cases like this has a tendency to permeate through the country as a whole, especially the federal justice system. Remember, these laws cross state lines. So I think this could have a significant impact. And to your earlier point, Anne-Marie, like we had a situation similar to this in the 90s with the Rampart Division in Los Angeles. And I think the goal initially is a good one to, deal with these localized issues of high crime to protect the residents. But it's just, I don't know what happens so often. The officers cross the line and they become part of the problem rather than the solution.
Yes, sir. They sure do. They become the problem rather than the solution. Now y'all seen this nasty stuff, right? What we gonna vote on to do with these goon squad boys? What we gonna do? What we gonna vote on? Death penalty, life in prison, injection style, electrical style, getting shocked to death. What we gonna agree upon these goon squad, crooked officers? Good for nothing. They don't stand on business. They operate on nastiness. Letting Negroes get in the bathroom together, have a freak and be watching that stuff. Just nasty. Plain old nasty. Excuse my French. The officers had me sick. Disgusted. These officers, I'm telling you, death penalty on them. Death. Anyway, I appreciate you guys always for tuning in. Thank you for supporting. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. Never know when I might hit or drop a bomb like today. But anyway, I love you guys. I appreciate you guys. Deuces.